One day at Monolith Soft. We're making new characters for Xenoblade 2. Does anyone have any novel ideas? How about a bird one? Great, what should we call it? I got a great idea. You know how birds usually fly and are light and aerodynamic and stuff? Well, what if we named it Rock, but spelled with only a C? You see, it's funny because rocks are heavy and they don't fly. So this may be the most novel and unique idea I've ever heard. Rock is of course the ever commonly used name for feathered things that jump or fly in video games, but in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that form is specifically a blade. Rock is a wind dual scythe class blade and the main blade of Vandam. Vandam is a pretty cool guy, but unfortunately fell into the mentor role when he started teaching Rex a bunch of life skills, and as Xenoblade 2 legally qualifies as an anime, this also means Vandam legally has to die. But before doing so, he puts forth a good example of how to play Rock, with the 4 driver arts of Crisis Power Muscle Slash, Evasion Fast Twitch, Skyward Sending Muscle Uppercut, and Aerial Wrestling Mega Muscle. If you couldn't tell, he's a really muscly guy. But sadly, all those muscles and their fleshed out character development couldn't make it past Chapter 3. So instead, to honor Vandam's legacy and to also fulfill roster obligations and the most highly specific and contrived plot purpose in the game, Rex can also resonate with Rock, and is the driver I'm going to focus on instead. Against all odds, Rex was actually paying attention to Vandam, and as such, his driver arts with Rock do almost the exact same things between the not smashing Cyclone Smash, evasive Wild Scythe, actually smashing Wing Smash, and aerial wrestling Vortex Edge. But you're not here to learn about drivers, you're here because you saw Rock using 2 weapons at once and want to know how Rock is cheating. Well, fear not, for the power balance of using a second weapon comes at the cost of not being able to do a high 5, so it's pretty well balanced. As a blade, Rock of course has 4 levels of specials. Rock's level 1 is Deathwing, where Rock throws the scythes to create an area of wind that throws off aerial foes, dealing extra damage to them. Rock's level 2 special is Crushing Twister, where Rock becomes a Beyblade that spins faster at low HP because nobody wants to admit to losing a Beyblade tournament. Rock's level 3 special is Feather Typhoon, where Rock creates a typhoon so strong it has a chance to straight up kill aerial foes. Or maybe it's just a nat 20 on intimidation roll because it doesn't look like Rock is actually moving. Then for the level 4, Rock and Rex team up for Crimson Storm, combining the scythes into that Gale Boomerang thing from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and also shouting the name of the special together because that makes it hit harder. For battle skills, because Rock is using a sickle type weapon, it can actually cleave away some of the aggro the target accumulates and help prevent it from building up. Rock's storms are also strong enough to cause stress in the target, not the emotional kind, but the kind that causes machinery to break. This allows Rock to deal extra damage, but only until the target figures out their footing. Finally, Rock likes to swoop in behind enemies when they're not looking and catch them off guard for extra damage. And for extra damage, Rock also has the Blade Arts back attack up, which reduces aggro even more, and Arts Plus, because Rock wasn't feeling very creative when that one got picked. As for field skills, it makes sense that the Windbird Blade has Wind Mastery. Rock also has talons fine enough to slot into locks and pick them, or just straight up break them. Rock also has Miasma Dispersal, which is quite the novel thing to have, and it's a good thing Rex and company have Rock around because Titans naturally produce miasma. So naturally, by living on and exploring Titans, this is something they'll probably encounter all the time and need to disperse. So thank goodness Rock is here and has this incredibly useful skill. Now, as far as being a good combatant, there are a number of optimal equipment pieces Rock is going to want, but if you're good at reading disclaimers, you know you're not going to find those here. Rock does a lot of nifty things with the air, controlled finely by large wings, so obviously I'm gonna recommend the Wing Chip. And since Rock is so good at it, and the bonus effect on aerial foes, let's double down and give Rock an Aerial Hunter Ox Core. For the other Ox Core, let's go with Specials level 4+, because Rock is special and also 4. For Rex's equipment, let's start with an Avian Totem carving, as a memento of Vandam's one and only blade. But since this is about Rock, let's also give Rex a colorful feather to stylistically match Rock, and some jet pauldrons to fly alongside Rock. That's what those do, right? For pouch items, Rock would probably enjoy whitebait with seeds, as birds typically like both fish and seeds. Then I also bet Rock would be really good at Clattertongue, as birds can make a wide variety of weird sounds with their mouth. For teammates, I'd recommend Finch, as she's also a bird, and Boreas, because my options are limited and Boreas is a non-human windblade. In summary, Rock is a good blade who specializes in wind, but especially in dispersing miasma. I mean, could you imagine if the team couldn't get past it? They'd be stuck in Chapter 3 or 4, unable to progress. Those bandits in their camp would have been stranded there for who knows how long behind it. I can only imagine how many times this single ability will single-handedly save the entire quest as Rock continues on with everyone and eventually becomes a fully integrated member of this wonderful party.
Give me a beer.
He sure is a strange old goat, that one.